Hi, everyone, and welcome to EventScout. This is a clean, flexible event listings template built for Bubble. And I'm going to give you a quick tour of what you get and how it works, and how you can customize it without ever touching the editor. Now, let's start with what the template looks like the first time you open it. So, when you first load EventScout, the site is intentionally empty. Bubble doesn't allow templates to ship with pre-filled data, and honestly, you probably don't want your brand new site filled with somebody else's fake events anyway. So you'll see two buttons in the middle of the screen, View Demo and User Roles. Now we're going to come back to user roles in a minute, but let's look at that demo first. So just so you know, there is no data in your database right now. This did not ship with anything. It is completely empty. So if you want to click this view demo button, I recommend it. I think it helps you set up the site, but you don't have to. But for now, let's click view demo and see what happens. So this takes just a few seconds, and then boom, you've got an entirely full site. You can explore the directories, the favorite things, you can open profile pages, and you can see how the filters and search work. It gives you a real look at how everything behaves once you put your own content into it. So now you can delete this demo at any time by clicking the same button. It's now down here at the bottom of the footer, and you see it says Delete Demo. It removes every piece of the demo without touching anything you've added. And just so you know, if you change your site's colors or fonts before creating the demo, the entire demo site will automatically appear using your branding. So it's a great way to preview how things are going to look. Okay, so now that we have a full site in front of us, let's take a quick tour. So there are 8 main pages in the site. There's the 3 directories. I'm going to call them the default names of events, participants, locations, but you can see you can actually customize these to whatever you need them to be. So in this case, we have events, artists, and venues. So each of the directories is basically the same. The events is a little more involved, but you see you've got these search filters over on the left. I can go in here and I can say, I want to see things at the Granite and Grain Warehouse. Boom. Right there. That's your event at the Granite and Grain Warehouse. I can click Reset Filters and I can start over. Let's see. I want to see anything that's contemporary dance. Now, there we go. All of these events are at contemporary dance. And if I want to see something that, let's say, is at contemporary dance at the Ridgepoint Veranda Garden, I can add a second filter. So I go here. Now I've got that. So that's how the search and filters work. And artist directory is going to be the same way. You've got your artists here. These are all the artists in the festival. Up here, you've got venues. This is going to be all of the venues in the festival. And all of these are going to have their individual profile pages. Now, before I show you the profile pages, though, I want to show you the search bar up in the top of the header here. Um, they can type your users. You can type anything you want. I can put in a single letter, let's say just A, and right there, I've got all of these events and artists and venues and themes that have A's in them. Now it's going to show you 2 per result because usually the users are going to enter more than just a single letter. But that's a way to see kind of another option to search the site across all the categories. And I'll close this right here. Um, but let's see. Just let's go in here and show you. Let's show you the Meridian Forge Gallery's profile page. So here you go, the individual profile page, and everybody's going to have one. Every location, every participant, every event will have a profile page. So in this case, it's the Meridian Forge Gallery. You have this nice hero image right here. You've got the location type here. Some will have more than just one. In this case, it's just one. Down here, you have an overview. You have a description of the location. Now, this is going to be the same for everything. Obviously, participants will have bios, but events and venues will have descriptions. And then you will have contact information or details over here about the event, the participant, or the location. Now, here's a part that I really like about the profile pages. Every single one, whether it's an event, a location, a participant, they have this you may also like section at the bottom. And it's based on just the categories, who has the most similar categories, but it allows your user to get into a rabbit hole almost. You can look at one profile page and say, "Oh, the old quarry amphitheater, the old quarry amphitheater looks nice." And you click on that, and suddenly you're at the old quarry amphitheater's page. So it's just kind of a neat way to kind of look around and learn about some other things as well. So let's see. Let's look at some other pages. I'm going to show you the about page, which is about the event itself, the whatever project you have going on. You've got the name and the tagline. You've got the description of the event. You've got the logo over here, and then the contact information. And that is always there for whatever event you want to set up. And finally, this is one of my appropriately, it's one of my favorites. It's the my favorites page. And when you go here, this automatically will show you suggested events from everything that you've entered. And now you look at this and you say, "Well, Kyle, there's nothing in there." And you are correct because I forgot that we need to like a few things. So that is where these plus signs you're going to see all over the site come into play. Maybe you like this event here. You like this location. I like installation art. And you can do that on all the pages. There are some on the profile pages as well. Just this is a way for the user to go through and pick things that they like and they want to keep in mind. So now that we have some likes, if we go back to that My Favorites page, now it's going to suggest events for us out of everything that we haven't liked yet. So now here's you see. Now, so it suggests it's got what, 6 events here that it's suggesting for us. So this is a great way for the user to discover events that they may not have seen yet. This is especially great if you have a lot of events in there, or a good amount of events in there that they probably didn't see everything. This brings some to their attention that fit with what they already like. And speaking of what they already like, another nice thing about the My Favorites page is this actually holds everything that we just liked back there. Normally there would probably be more than this, but we just clicked a few there on the page. So this not only holds what they have clicked on, but it suggests new things for them. So that is really the entire site right there. So you have seen now how or where we're going, where you want to get to. Let me show you the incredibly easy way for to get there. So the next step is going to be just to register an account. Now, before we do that, just see if you look at the bottom of this page, it's the same buttons that we started off with: view demo and user roles. Now, when we register a user, and I already put some information in here just to make it quick, email, password, first name, last name, you click register, and now there's an account. You can see the button change to log out instead of register. So, but you still can't see anything more down here. That is because there is not a user role. The user role has to be admin, or in this case, it has to be admin. There are actually 2 other user roles that you'll learn about, but in this case, it is admin. And all you have to do is to assign the new user. You pick this. Here's the user we just created. That's good. And we want to assign the role of admin. So now once we do that, now you can see, now we have more buttons here. And that is how you actually create this site. Very first step is going to be the settings. In the settings, that's where you put the name, the tagline, the about text, the description, the logo. This is where the terminology comes from. I told you it starts out with event and location and participant. Well, this is where you call it something else. You want to call it artists and venues and events, or however you decide to name it. This is where you get into colors. You get to pick your 4 colors that make the site what it is. These are 4 different 3 font packages that you can choose from. You can switch those back and forth. And then finally, the contact information at the end. So then you would click Save Settings. That would set up the site for you, the basics of the site. Everything else, after you do that, everything else is done with this one single button, Add, Edit, and Delete. Because all there really is to this site is data entry. That's basically it. So this is where you do everything. If you were starting off from scratch, this is where you would create everything to begin the site. Say we want to add a category. Do that, and we click Add. Now it tells us with a category, all you need is a name and a color, so that's fairly easy, and then you would add it. If we go back, say we want to add an event, that's a bigger one. Here we go. So we click add event and we click add. You see a 4th button appeared there, but we'll talk about that in a second. So we're going to add an event. This one is more involved. It has the name, it has the start date, it has the location, on and on, age restrictions, the artists that are involved, pictures that go with it. You'll see there's actually the 3:2 aspect ratio, and then there is a 1:1 square ratio. That is mainly for the mobile version. The mobile version is actually a completely different layout. It's much more like an app than it is like a website. But that's why there are 2 photos there. And then it would be the same thing if you were editing or deleting. The only difference, say, if you were editing an event, you would actually choose the event that you wanted to edit. You would pick something here, and when you did, all of the information would pre-populate. You would only change what you were trying to edit. Everything else would stay the same. So that is how you do that. If you were deleting an event, it would be the same thing. You would pick the event you wanted to delete. It would take care of that for you. Now, I did mention this 4th button, and that is only for events. What that is for is recurring events. If you had an event, say Borrowed Light was every week, this would pre-populate the information for you. All you would have to do is change the date. You would click Add Similar Event, and it would add something. It would not edit the existing event. It would add a brand new event with the same information, just the date that you had changed. And that is pretty much it. As you can see, I mean, it's got everything in here, the participants, the locations, etc. That is how you create the entire site. The rest of the site, the rest of the template is built to do everything else for you. So that is the template. That is EventScout. I hope you liked watching this. I hope it made things a little easier for you, made you a little sure about them, little more sure about things. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for joining me.